You're watching College Football Village with Andrew Anderson, presented by Bones Coffee. Get your Bones Coffee at www.bonescoffee.com. Good evening. Welcome to College Sports Villains Season 2, Episode 4, where today we will discuss Harbaugh, the playoffs, the meme of the week, and college basketball. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on two of our panel. We have a few more special guests coming. Let's welcome Emily. Emily, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Excellent, excellent. I know you're stoked last night about Alabama's win over Auburn.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's always great to beat your rival. It's always my favorite, too. Maybe we'll beat Clemson in baseball this year. Who the hell knows? All right, let's go ahead and introduce Kenny to the stage. Kenny, I know you were not stoked about last night's game. Can't win them all.
You can't win them all. I said that, it was said that, I said it. I was scared about that game. I mean, I told everybody
anytime
earlier.
You go on the road, agreed. Anytime you go on the road, it's hard to win, which we'll discuss a big victory here in a little while with a top 10 team that went on a road and did not come back so well. But we'll get there. We will get there. All right. So let's go ahead and bring up Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. So my man left Michigan. As College Football Dogs reported weeks ago that they had sources that he was going to sign there, and they brought the receipts and they won. They absolutely knew what they were talking about. They got ahead of the game with the stuff that they wanted to do, and we absolutely 100% just love it for the brand. This is, of course, College Sports Villains on the Dog Media Network, only on the Dog Media Network. But now we're going to introduce to the stage Mac from Spicy Mac's Takes. What's going on, my friend? So we are.
What's up, Mac?
What's going on, Kenny?
We were discussing.
What's up, bud?
I know you're excited. I know you're excited.
He is excited. Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers, and Mac, you may not have known this, but the Dog Media Network, who is our producers here at College Sports Villains, they put out an article weeks ago because they had sources that Jim Harbaugh was going to the Chargers before any of this happened, and it did. And we just want to go ahead and congratulate the brand on having real sources. So, man, it's awesome. TJ Chapman, who wrote the article, man, what an article. I think he's already got something like 90,000 views. Well, not 90,000, 9,000 views, maybe even high, maybe 30,000. I don't know. I'll have to get the real numbers. It's incredible the number of views he has. So with that being said, what do you think, Mac, about Harbaugh to the Chargers? You think good, bad, and different? I think it's a great move by him.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Herbert, Harbaugh.
Because first off, understand this first and foremost. Like, he's a player's coach.
Yep.
Okay. There's going to be guys going into free agency over the next couple of years that are going to be like, I want to play for him.
Yep.
Like, there's certain guys that money isn't the motivation. Okay. Playing for a good coach, a good team, and knowing that your outcome is going to be in the playoffs every year.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's not going to want to go to that team?
Correct. I couldn't agree more. Jim Harbaugh was able to out-recruit a lot of teams, including Ohio State, in the region up there toward the latter part of Harbaugh's career up in Michigan. He was able to win them battles one-on-one, which is why he got to where he was. And that's not an easy task out-recruiting Ohio State, right? So that's one of those. Ohio State's a blue blood. So is Michigan, though. But, I mean, ever since Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel, they've just been on top of the world, right? So it's exciting. I know Kenny, he thought Harbaugh to the Chargers was a good move because we talked about it earlier. Give us your analysis real quick on it.
Here's my outtake. The game I'm waiting for next year, the Chargers versus the Ravens.
It's not going to be a game.
I don't know.
Not yet.
Listen.
Not yet. Not yet.
Every time that they've gone against each other, there's been one winner.
I mean, I understand, but hey, a couple years, he can have the right. He can have the
Now,
Chargers.
couple years, yes. But next year, I don't think so. We're still going to have most of this defense. We're still going to have the majority of offense together. That offensive line ain't going nowhere for the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
we've got a key part of our defense that we've re-signed most of our defensive guys, young guys, last year. Which a lot of people are like, well, why are you re-signing him so early? Like Matabike, we re-signed him earlier this year, and people were like, man, why are you going to give this guy $8 million a year? Well, first off, his first 2 years is only $3 million. You're telling me a guy with double-digit sacks, you're going to complain about paying him $3 million a year? Hell no.
Never.
That's a steal. That is a
here's
steal.
my thing. Here's my thing about it. With Jim, how much stake do they give him in the draft this year of how much they're willing to give up to let him get the quarterback he wants?
He's not the quarterback he wants.
100% in.
He's
That's
got
not
Herbert.
even a question.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he's
not about
I don't know.
It's his pick. Every pick is his pick. They're picking who the fuck he wants.
Yes,
And that's exactly how they're
100%
going to play.
control. Yeah,
Bro, when I tell you he is going to be the next closest thing to Belichick. Okay, that's the type of power he's going to have with these guys.
Yep.
Because he's a proven winner, and they've never had that in the building.
Agreed.
Hey, I agree. I feel like, and I could be wrong. I don't feel like he stays with her. I feel like he's like, look, he's not the guy to fit my offense. I feel like he's telling them now, look, I want to move up in the draft, and this is who I want to go get.
Zero chance he moves on from Herbert.
Yeah,
fucking Josh Herbert. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
So-
That's why he chose the Chargers. Like, I almost guarantee it because the situation is right.
Okay.
So Jim Harbaugh is the type of coach is where he's not a giant offensive mind. He's not, okay? He doesn't need to be. He's going to get an offensive coordinator tailored to what Justin Herbert does very well. And they're going to form the system around Justin Herbert. Like I said, he's a player's coach. So what is he going to do? He's looking to the best players on both sides of the ball, and we're going to put these guys in the best position to win.
Correct.
That's it.
I feel like
and he's going to coach him up. That's his MO, and he does very well with that. But as far as getting rid of Herbert, I mean, why? Why would you do? You could put him in damn near any system, and it would work, as long as everybody else is doing their part. Granted, but as a young quarterback who can do it all, man, I give it to him. Like, yeah, he's not very mobile, but again, he can get around the pocket. He's made very tough throws. You know what I mean? Like, he can throw outside the numbers. He can. Yep. He understands how to read zone to a degree. His biggest downfall is he's had a shit offensive line. He's had weapons who don't show up. He's had Keenan Allen be on the bench, God knows how many times now. So
let me ask you this. So you're telling me he's going to how long do you give him before he wins the Super Bowl?
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Okay, now mind you, listen. For two years, he could have won back-to-back Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers.
With the 49ers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, hands down, like by sheer goddamn luck, he didn't. Okay, and then when he went up against us, like he could have won that game against us. So you know what I mean? Like there's like I said, 2 years almost guaranteed he could have won the Super Bowl. So when it comes down to like what did he have in San Francisco? What did he walk away from in San Francisco, bro? I mean, and then not even that. Like, to tell how good of a coach he was. Look at all the guys who retired early.
So at this moment, let's welcome to the stage No Mercy Sports. How we doing?
I'm doing good. Kenny, I got a bone to pick with you. I need some receipts. I need some siding.
Well, the stage is yours.
I got a bone to pick with you too, sir.
You really thought that the Dallas Cowboys were going to get to the Super Bowl? Nah. I got 42 plus reasons why they weren't going to get there, and it's alternated between Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, baby.
What happened to your Packers, though, buddy?
Okay, cool. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers. I wasn't
Where's
betting
my
on the
Chiefs?
Packers anytime soon.
Where's my
Jesus.
Chiefs at?
It's an annual thing that the Packers lose to the 49ers. Are
It
you
is.
kidding me? The fact that you wanted to sit there and pick the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, my
I
guy,
didn't
you
say
are
win.
dumber than
I
you
didn't say
look.
win. I didn't say win. I said make the Super Bowl.
Either way,
I like the Cowboys better than the Packers. I hate the Packers too.
Bro,
Yeah.
you got more brain cells than teeth if you made that pick.
Just know I got a question for you later on.
Okay.
And for
bet.
Mac. And for Mac. We're going to get to that segment. I got a question for you and Mac. And I want it answered honestly.
quickly, because
No
I
problem.
got to get him on his Harbaugh.
Let's go. We can go on when we get to that segment. I'll ask that question.
All right. So what we're talking about right now, James, and we're going to let you get your 2 cents in here. Harbaugh to the Chargers with Herbert. What do we do, brother?
Oh, man. I mean, there's been a lot of speculation going around that
This is true,
the
Chris.
Chargers are.
That's not true. I was
Anyways,
a fucking.
there's
I was.
been a lot
I
of
was a
speculation
late
going
teenager.
around that the Chargers are AFC West favorites. But I mean, we really thought that with the Denver Broncos bringing in Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, and look how well that worked out.
Not very.
Yeah. Do I think the Chargers have a chance? Yes. But with the Raiders also signing a Antonio Pierce, aka Debo Camuel, or Debo Campbell, I should say, because he brings that energy to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, Kenny, they
but
lighting you
I
up
mean,
already.
That's okay. I love it. I love it.
I mean, the AFC West, it is going to be a war zone.
Yes.
Antonio Pierce was winning games with Aiden O'Connell. Who the hell is that? Under center, for crying out loud.
Yes. Who was that? Out of nowhere. And yes, Chris, Russell Wilson was definitely washed up. And I think the Seahawks knew that, which is why they were like, "You want him? Cool. Like we're going to let you have him. We'll take a 5th round at this point. You know, that's they knew. Pete Carroll knew.
Yeah.
So I think Jim Harbaugh, man, like Mac was saying earlier, him being a player's coach, people love him. All of that stuff. I think they took a shot at you there, James, about you wearing. So he always does. That's his MO.
Hey, it's my sports persona. Everybody has one. You just need to find one that fits.
That's right. Chargers with Herbert and Harbaugh is dangerous. Like 100% agree with that. Like I said, Mac was saying earlier how Harbaugh is a player's coach and he's well known and people love him. Free agency will be very kind to the Chargers now. I 100% agree. They have the money now. They have the ownership that wants to win. They pretty much threw the bank at Harbaugh and said, whatever power you want, here's the money to make it happen. Go win us a Super Bowl. And I think Harbaugh will win them a Super Bowl in the future. He's not going to win it immediately, but he will get there. So before we move on to the next segment, we're going to do the meme of the week, which is probably my favorite one in a while because I just love me some honeymooners. For those of you who aren't old enough to know this, when someone tells you they're a Clemson fan and they're in your house, you're just like, you know what? Like, no, we're not gonna be doing that here. I'm gonna need y'all to move on about your day. So I absolutely love this meme. Everybody,
I'll tell you what, when it came to Clemson versus Alabama in a national championship, you were a Clemson fan.
Me?
Just
in general, you people hating out. So my wife's an Alabama fan, so she was not. I'm a Gamecock fan, so fuck Clemson, so I was not. Kenny definitely was because he's an Auburn fan who hates Alabama.
I mean, I was too, but it's mostly because that Alabama was the team that you hated to love, but you loved to hate.
Well, Big Ten backers, I would
Roll
catch
Tide.
catfish at night.
Roll
I don't
Tide.
drink though, so Yeah, Kenny's all about Roll Tide. Don't let him lie to you because
Andrew, you're full
Kenny
of shit.
yeah, that was a big mistake, Chris, 100%. But Alabama beat Auburn in basketball last night, much to the happiness of my
Okay, hold
wife.
on. Since you wanna bring that
Hold
up,
on,
I
Kenny.
said this.
We're going into basketball just a minute. So, Dabo Swinney is the clown that inspired Ronald. So here's where I'm going to attack Dabo Swinney and defend Dabo Swinney all in a 2-second spot. Dabo
Oh,
Swinney is a clown, 100% with his new spring and his cult out there. But at the same time, the man won 2 national titles while beating the GOAT to get there. Like, you got, as much as I don't like him, you got to respect it. He beat Nick Saban head to head in the biggest game of the year twice. So say what you want about Dabo Swinney, but the man did some fucking work, man. Like that shit was amazing, and I was sick to my stomach too, like
Mm.
sick, like oh my god, what you? But it was truly inspiring. The fact that you gotta give credit where credit's due, and to beat the GOAT twice head to head in the biggest game of the spot, nobody does that, right? It just doesn't
I
happen.
mean, I know
So,
what that's about being a Giants fan and them being the Patriots in
right,
the Super Bowl.
he had is the key word. He ain't with the portals. So all right. So this, I want to get y'all's opinion on this before we move on. So he isn't with the portal, and that is true. Dabo Swinney does not like the portal. However, here in this age, we saw Michigan winning the national championship over Washington pretty easily in a building your program versus transfer portal mercenary game. And we saw the same thing with Georgia versus Florida State. Building your program works better than the transfer portal because Georgia murdered FSU and Michigan beat Washington. It really wasn't even that close. It really wasn't. At halftime, it was kind of a game, but in the end, depth won out, which was the same building the program. However, what Michigan and Georgia did do with the portal is they found a few plugs and leaked them with the portal. They didn't build the program around it. That's what made them successful, and that's why Dabo Swinney's not successful because he's not using the portal to plug those holes. He went with the nation's number one most freshmen this year. They played more freshmen than any team in the nation this year and still won 9 games. So as much as I can't stand that guy, mad props to him because I'm trying to be a program. It is a mixed agree. I'm trying to be a program like Clemson. I want to only win 9 games and have my whole fan pissed off they can't stand it. 9 wins is unacceptable. That's where I'm trying to be as a program. So as much as I can't stand him, mad props to him, right? So can't really go too on out. So we're going to bring up college basketball in just a second, but I just want to say I'm representing my Hawks, even though we have all these great players and we have a tremendously losing record, which I just cannot fathom in my head what the hell is going on with the Hawks.
And Trey Young is supposed to be the face of the franchise.
Listen.
Trey Young is hurt.
I'm a Wizards fan.
Oh God.
You know what though?
Okay, say less. Say less, Max. Say
Kenny.
less.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hear your crybaby tales. Okay.
So we went to the East Coast Finals 3 years ago, and we were one Trey Young injury away from going to the finals, and Milwaukee went on to win that final, so it could have been our year. However, I believe Clint Capella got old. We traded away a big piece of our puzzle to the Jazz and John Collins. We thought DeJounte Murray was the answer, and this guy just kept dropping the ball.
San Antonio was stupid for trading to DeJounte.
He hit 2-game winners this week.
Jalen Johnson, bro, that is a bright future he's got.
It is. But you know what? Like we gotta start winning some games now. That's where I want to be. I mean, we were 3 years removed from basically should have made it to the finals without our best player injured to 10 games under 500. Like it doesn't make no sense, man. I got you. I'm a Vandy fan.
Lady.
7 wins between men's basketball and football combined.
Almost 2 months away from baseball season, baby. I can't wait.
So I can't wait for baseball season here. Dylan, we'll get back. Chiefs Lions, your Super Bowl prediction. We're going to get to the NFL. It's going to be the bulk of our program. We're going to move on. Chris, Vanderbilt, basketball and football, not, but baseball's coming. and that's where Vanderbilt's going to shove their losing streak down the rest of the team's throat. I believe Vanderbilt has a good freaking baseball team, and I think that's
Really?
where Vanderbilt's always freaking good in college baseball, man. They every year they just they get all the picks. So before we move on to the NFL, because we're gonna talk about that a long time, because I'm gonna bring some receipts about some shit that I said, but I want to go ahead and bring up my Gamecocks with a sellout, 25,000 people showing up in a blackout.
Okay, hold on.
Kenny, hold on. This is my spot and my team. You can talk after.
I don't see
You
how.
heard what the man said, Kenny.
But he said they were going to lose to him. I said they were going.
So, this is my time. These Gamecocks showed up in a sellout, 20,000 plus, all in black, screaming loud, and we took down the number 6 team in easy fashion. Our defense went and pressed them, and they had zero answer to what they were doing. So Lamont
This was at
Paris,
home, I believe.
Yeah, it was at home. Yeah, we were
was.
at home. We sold out. Lamont Paris, like I thought you guys were going to win 17 games this year. I got you at 19 now. If you hit 20, Lamont Paris was the right hire. It really was. And I'm real excited. And Kenny's got South Carolina at 24 wins this year. But we got some tough games to get there.
Hold on. If you want to, I said I have y'all at 22-24, and I have said this since Jump Street. And Andrew has wrote the check that told me that I was wrong, and I told him that South Carolina will beat Kentucky, Tennessee, and Auburn. One of them. I said this before these games was ever played.
The refs bailed who out? Because South Carolina was up by 20 like 90% of the game. So I'm a little confused about that comment, James.
And here's the thing about that game with Kentucky. They did it without Miles Suits, which is impressive to me. Makes it more impressive.
Keep talking, Kenny, because the fact that you picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl means nothing! It means nothing!
We're going to get to
Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Hey, it's nothing. He says he knows you.
That's okay. You just wait till later, buddy. You got to laugh now.
Yeah, well, wait for what?
You're going to answer my question. You're going to answer my question.
Oh, I got you.
The only reason Alabama won that freaking basketball game
the ref did not
was because of the goddamn lighting. You want to tell me they had a new stadium in place and they couldn't get the lighting right? Come game night, God forbid, everything goes wrong and Alabama wins. Fuck out of here.
And Alabama,
listen, let me tell you about I said that Auburn lose. But here's the thing about that game last night. Not about the lighting. Screw the rest. Auburn went 0 for 7 in the free throw line in the last 2 minutes of that game. If they would have hit free throws, Alabama would have lost.
But they did.
That's our problem on the road is we're having problems hitting free throws. But I will tell you this, and it's scary because it's scary facts. And yes, Chris, Auburn and Tennessee are the 2 best teams in the SEC right now, even though Auburn lost. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody knows that come February, no, you'll find out. I'm Tennessee and Auburn, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody knows that Bruce Pearl, come February, turns a whole nother corner in basketball. That is why.
How many national titles does Bruce Pearl have now?
How many times has he taken a team to the Final Four? How many times you been to the Final Four?
Real question. How many national titles does Kentucky have in basketball?
I mean, we went to the Final Four just 6 years ago, Kenny. I'm confused.
We went 5 years ago.
So
no, 4 years ago.
Did he win the national title? Has he?
No, we got robbed by a fucking double dribble. Let's talk about that. That was a double dribble by Virginia. You want to talk about it? I
Man,
mean, we can.
Virginia was the best team in the country. They beat the hell out
Auburn
of
had
everybody.
them fucking beat. Auburn had them beat if they would have called that double dribble.
That double dribble. All right, so
Could
He
have,
double
would
dribbled.
have, should have.
saying Bruce Pearl turns on a new and like he has to win one, and he won't do it at
He's
Auburn.
done,
I can
he's
tell
done
you.
beat Van. He's done beat Vanderbilt in Nashville this year, so I don't want to hear that, Vandy. Just shut that shit up.
Well, he's pretty even. So we're gonna go to the playoffs. So I just want to say, last week on No Mercy Sports and Villains, I said that Baltimore was going to win 34-10. And I'll be damned if Baltimore didn't win 34-10. And I said that the Chiefs were going to win by 3 on the road. The videos are there. And I will be damned if the Chiefs did not win by 3 on the road. Like, I'm telling you, like, these matchups matter. And I try to explain that to people, that matchups matter. And with that being said, we're going to talk about these games this week. But
Can I
last
ask
week,
my question?
in 1 second, last week, in my opinion, and we fix to talk about these games. Last week, in my opinion, Baltimore showed why nobody can fuck with them in these playoffs. So
Absolutely.
KC will win the refs. And yeah, the refs do love Kansas City. A lot of strange calls last week, and I did not have a dog in that fight. Actually chose Kansas City to win by 3, so it made me look really good. But yes, lots of strange calls.
Well, let's be honest. Buffalo Bill fans are suffering the fact that the kick went wide right, and they went back to Scott Norwood in the Super Bowl.
So I actually watched that live in 1990, y'all. I did. I was a kid, and I was up, and I stayed up to watch that Super Bowl, and I watched this guy kick, and it went. I was like, "Oh my God, 20-19, man! That was Jameson, don't
Giants,
hurt me on the back.
baby! Laces out.
Yeah, laces out. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Good old Ace Ventura there. So before I go into where I'm going this, I want to start with Mac here. Mac, line up. What are your predictions for these two games? The floor is yours. Start with one, go with the other. Let us know what you think.
All right. I think San Francisco is going to win by like 3 points. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out, one score, back and forth, back and forth. I think it's going to be like 27-30. You know what I mean?
can
Like,
see that.
yeah, I mean, that's how I feel like this game. Now, I mean, the Lions can win, but the biggest thing is, like, again, San Francisco has multiple weapons, and if you can't get to Purdy and make him uncomfortable and dictate how they play, then you know what I mean. That's how they win. So I'm giving the edge to San Francisco. I got Baltimore winning by 7 points, like at least 7 points. When I tell you that this defense has felt more disrespect over the last 6 weeks than they have ever felt. There's only one quarterback this year that they've let score multiple touchdowns in one game.
We don't
like,
know, Sidney.
Like the fact that these people are calling out Chris Jones. Chris Jones has 9.5 sacks on the season. Matabike's got over 13. But nobody's talking about our defensive tackle, and it's like, brother, like we are not the Bills. We don't have a bunch of injuries. This is the number one defense in the league. This is one of the most historic defenses that have ever played as far as leading in 3 major categories. Okay. On top of that, to think that Kansas City's defense is good enough to hold Lamar Jackson to any extent, even if he was to decide he was going to throw the majority of this game, guess what? He's still going to burn that secondary up. So it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. Your linebackers have been suspect because can't any of them stay healthy. Multiple people in your secondary have went down, and everybody's playing a little injured, a little hurt, and it's like, yeah, it's playoff time, but when playoff time comes, if you're not on the field, you don't mean shit.
Correct. So that is 100% true. Like, if you're not out there, like, you don't matter. And We saw that this year with my South Carolina Gamecocks, who had 17 people injured for the most of the year, and we played in the SEC. You know how it goes. So, Emily, Detroit at San Francisco. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Agreed. Kansas City at Baltimore.
I'm going with Baltimore.
Yes, 100%. So now we're previewing these two games. We're going to go ahead and let James go ahead and give his preview. No Mercy Sports. How is this going to roll down for everybody? Yes, Sydney, Kenny is dying to talk, and I will let him have his chance next.
First off, appreciate you, Sydney. Secondly, my God, before I'm gonna bring this up on my show tomorrow, and would love to have you there. But before Dan Campbell arrived, the Lions, over the course of 3 years, won 14 games.
This is true.
When Dan Campbell entered the building, it was essentially the same thing with Antonio Pierce being the Raiders head coach. You knew something was brewing, and there was something going to be special. Now, granted, they went. Oh God, it was like his first year. They were like 1-10-1 or something like that. But as the years progressed, we started to see something with the Detroit Lions. They knew how to draft. They knew what they were doing. The coaching was there. And, I mean, this year alone, with the fact that they won against the Kansas City Chiefs on opening night of Thursday Night Football of all games. Yes, biting kneecaps. I mean, outside the state of Florida, Dan Campbell looks like the sole person that is keeping Bang Energy in business right now. Yes. If you don't know Bang Energy, I highly recommend it. I love it. Anyways, but the run that the Lions have been on this year, dare I say, it is reminiscent of the 2007-2008 New York Giants. They're going into a heavily favorite San Francisco 49ers stadium. But man, oh man, they have been so sexy. I said what I said. They've been so damn good to watch this year.
Yes.
So it wouldn't surprise me if the Lions get the win over the 49ers and go to the Super Bowl. And you know what? I really think that Lamar Jackson proves the haters wrong, because God forbid we want Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. So I got the Lions and the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Lions and Ravens.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That I really wouldn't hate that. But so now we're going to give Kenny 3 minutes to talk about how he wants Patrick Mahomes dipping his ass. So go ahead,
Kenny. I need 5. I got one question for Matt before I start. You know what this is? You know what the number 6 is?
Are you trying to be Booker T?
Listen, 6 years in the league, 6 AFC championships, 3-2 in the AFC championship, 2-3 in the Super Bowl. Brady didn't even go to 6 AFC championships in the first 6 years. And you're counting out Patrick Mahomes. You're full of it, buddy. That man is a
when he catches the ball, after he throws it, then I'll count him in. But
that's right. You can't argue that. Now, let me go on today.
Oh, yes, sure. So when Jason Kelsey is drunk, shirtless, and screaming his ass off, everybody loves it. But when I'm doing that fucking P-dubs, it's time for me to go home. Get the hell up out of here.
Let him finish.
You can't count out Patrick Mahomes. Our defense will play good enough to lead Patrick Mahomes in it.
I mean, I'll
Patrick
agree with that.
Mahomes, listen, I'm going at Mac because Mac said, screw Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league 6 years. He is the only rookie that ever go to the
making out this
he is
game.
the only rookie.
You understand?
He is the only rookie
on
to
him.
go to the AFC Championship. Name me another one that did it.
Going to knock
Agree,
the
Emily.
face out his
Agree.
mouth. Patrick Queen, Kyle Hamilton, they're coming after him. We are blitzing. I promise you, he's going to be laying on his back more than he's going to be throwing down the field.
Mac, I'm
Look,
taking you outside on
check
this one.
this.
Everybody's so
Hold on.
focused
Hold
on
on.
Odell Beckham Jr., they're going to leave Zay Flowers fucking open and not even realize it.
Listen.
Hold on.
Chris,
Listen,
I could not agree
Pacheco-
more with this
Pacheco-
statement right here.
Pacheco is going to be irrelevant in this game. I
Yes.
promise you. And that's going to be the downfall. He's going to throw it, and he's going to be throwing interceptions. That's the
How about this? How about this? I see both of y'all on Villains next Thursday night,
I'll be here.
and we discussed it. And
No,
we
you were
discussed
wrong
it.
about the
When
Cowboys. Shut the fuck up.
when Kansas City beat Baltimore, you show your face and answer next Thursday
You
night.
bet your ass I will.
You
When you
have to
lose-
the field. If you want to play
What?
football, we can play football. I'll run your ass over.
And we'll see. When Kansas City wins, I'll see you next Thursday night. Everybody knows I'm taking Kansas City. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Now, let's
Oh,
discuss.
well, you're not going to show up on my fucking show because you predicted the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. How are we supposed to take you seriously now?
Hey, check this out though. Let's talk about the next game. I kind of agree with what James
James,
said.
we hear him fine. I don't know what's going on your end. Yeah, Kenny, we got a good view of your scout there, buddy.
James,
Too close for comfort.
James, I agree with one thing that you said. No, son, I've been a Kansas City Chiefs fan my whole life. I got checks to write that because I used to take shit from my brother, which is a Bills fan.
But he
But
doesn't
anyway.
know who was quarterback before Alex Smith was. But go ahead.
Yes, it was. Anyway,
Kenny.
here we go. Now, let's talk about the Lions and the 49ers. I agree with one thing you said. They have been playing good football all year long. But there's one thing that ain't nobody talked about, and I talked about it this week, and I'm going to bring it up on Villains. Everybody keeps talking about Taylor Swift, and the Chiefs. But there's somebody in Detroit that ain't nobody talked about. And I'm going to give the man a shout out because I think he is the greatest white rapper ever to step foot in the league. And that is-
He's the
No, no, no.
GOAT. He
No,
is the
no.
GOAT. He is the
Okay.
GOAT. I don't want to
He's-
hear it.
Why you got to bring race into it?
Because he's been in every damn game. And ain't nobody talking about it.
He
Everybody
is the
needs your-
GOAT, and it's not even close.
Look, man, I know if
It's not close. It's not close.
Talking about him.
He's the greatest white rapper there ever was.
He does
There
not.
you go. Greatest white rapper. He is the greatest rapper of all time, and it's not even close. And this is putting Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac in the conversation.
Nobody's want to talk about Eminem going to the game. And better yet, he just said he'll be in San Francisco.
Because,
I'm just
let's
saying.
be honest.
I got
When's the
Detroit.
last
I got
time-
Detroit versus Taylor.
Hold on. When's the last time Eminem was relevant? Let's just be honest.
A few years ago. But
Yeah,
I mean,
It
listen,
was a few
you
years
have to
ago,
understand.
but I mean,
That is the second best.
I
Who's the
agree.
first best?
Fucking Tupac.
Listen to the demographic you're talking about, though, right? You're talking about a bunch of majority white females and white males, right? Which have opportunities to what? A lot of
Which
these
guy,
guys
Sydney?
buy tickets, be relevant, Twitter, text, fucking Instagram, all that. They're all on that fucking bullshit. And when 50% of the fucking consumer is your entire, you know what I mean, is your main base, you're gonna feast. And that's what they're doing. The Swifties, the everybody, like that. That's why they're feasting on it. So what we as real football fans have to do is sometimes you guys suck it up. Remember when MTV invaded wrestling back in the 80s? You kind of just got to endure. And hope
Let me finish what I was saying. I'm saying it's Eminem versus Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl.
No.
Makes sense, don't it?
No.
Yeah, Detroit and Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
I
called
would rather watch a TikTok of Drew Lock singing "Put On for My City" on a 1 hour loop than see Taylor Swift in the fucking Super Bowl.
Hey,
So, Kenny,
we'll see.
like, who is your Super Bowl prediction?
The Lions and the Chiefs.
Lions and the Chiefs. And you got the Chiefs winning it all, I guess?
That's right, going back to back.
All right. So, yes.
But we'll discuss that next Thursday night.
Disagree. So, now, I will tell you how this is going to go down in my humble opinion. So, the Lions are a great team. Matt Campbell has built a great program. Everything that he's done over there, he's done well. The guy knew his craft and he really put it together. Now, with that being said, the 49ers are on a different level right now. I think they have too many weapons over there. McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel's back. It was just reported today he's 100% healthy.
Okay.
Kittle out there. I mean, that matters. And Brock Purdy's playing like he's fucking Joe Montana for some reason. But
the weapons that he has, baby.
Yes, he has a lot of weapons. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is a halftime show will not come close to Prince. Yes. I don't even know who the halftime show is. I
Debatable.
It, but I can't remember. So I must not care.
Usher.
Oh, wait a minute. Then I should care.
Hey, give me Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. Give me that halftime show any day of the week.
So that halftime show, but Kenny the Guru and On Roy. Yeah, Kenny is on steroids or something. But that halftime show was the greatest halftime show of all time. And it's not even close in my opinion. Like, I love that halftime show. That was amazing.
I'm sorry. I had to be different. My favorite halftime show was Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson, and he pulled that thing up. I'm sorry. That was the highlight of like I remember watching that.
I remember it too.
But wait a minute. We're talking about the whole show, not one moment. The whole show.
We recorded it. I had it on tape. I could rewind it and replay it. Like, you got to understand. I think it was 11 or 12 when that happened. So
yes,
I got to fix with you. Like, yeah.
Well,
my God, I remember that halftime show. Like, just because of my parents, I hated Justin Timberlake. But as soon as he was on like Shrek 3, he was making fun of himself at the ESPYs and everything like that. It was like, okay, you gained a fan.
Well, before I continue on, I will agree. I like Justin Timberlake. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I really do. I enjoy his music. Always have, really, to be honest with you. But with that being said, the 49ers will take down the Lions in a very close game. They will not run them out of the stadium. It will not go down that way. It'll be just like last week with the Packers, the win short, the win toward the end. I think in the end, the depth is going to get the 49ers the win. Now, Ravens and Chiefs. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you right now, let's just go down to quarterbacks. And I know Kenny was sucking Tim Bailey's dick the other day because they both agree Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time, and it's not close, is what they said, which is really, really weird.
I said in this modern era right now, he is the greatest quarterback.
So, once again, that's a ridiculous statement to think that Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
Brady's not in this era. I said this era.
Can I ask you this question? So you're telling me you could put Patrick Mahomes on, say, the Panthers, and next year they're going to the playoffs?
Ain't no way.
Thank you.
Okay, explain to me this. 6 years in the league, 6-8.
They go to the playoffs.
He's the only rookie ever to go to the AFC Championship, this conference championship game.
No, he's not.
I'll say this. You put Patrick Mahomes
AFC Championship.
You
6
telling
years
me
in
the
the league.
Panthers are walking out with the Lombardi Trophy? I dare you!
6 years, 6 AFC championships. Name me another quarterback to do it.
He may have swallowed. When it came
6
to Patrick
the league,
Mahomes.
6 AFC championships. It's
So I
facts.
mean, like the guy, like literally, he talks about Patrick Mahomes like it's his girlfriend, man. Like you don't know.
I love Patrick Mahomes. Let's just be honest.
Holmes
Patrick
here.
Mahomes has been in the league 6 years. He's never, ever been knocked out of the playoffs before the championship game. There is no quarterback ever in NFL history been in the league 6 years and made 6 AFC championships or NFC championships. He is the only quarterback. Give the man respect. He is the greatest in this era.
Yes, Jim Kelly did
You
go to
can't
4
argue that.
Super Bowl. You know, I'm gonna pull you off stage if you interrupt my set one more time. Like, come on now. We all let you have your roid rage 5-minute Patrick Mahomes dick sucking moment. So we're gonna move on now to, like I said, the Ravens. If you think that Patrick Mahomes is going to be a better fit than Lamar Jackson on any team, you have smoked some really good crack. I am not a Ravens fan. I am a Falcons fan. So I have zero investment in that team. However, watching Lamar Jackson, he's a fucking cheat code. He is a video game character out there. He is the best quarterback in the league. And he is going to go into this game and he is going to make a fucking statement. But let's not even talk about Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about how that defense is going to be on Patrick Mahomes' nuts the whole time. Because if we watch the Chiefs, and football is a game of matchups, is it not? Because like Max said, this guy ain't catching the ball and blocking, and he ain't catching interceptions. Like, that's not how that works. This full team right here, get the fuck out of here with that. I'm a Falcons fan. I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Michael Vick 100 fucking times out of 100.
I was going to say, Lamar Jackson is a modern-day Michael Vick version.
Yeah, 4 Super Bowls is better than 6 AFC championship, definitely. But, you know, with that being said, the Ravens are a better team, top to bottom, special teams. The only place that I give the Chiefs the advantage here is coaching. And that's what I said last week. I'm like, Andy Reid will find a way to win this game by 3. And it's exactly how it went down because Andy Reid is one of the greatest coaches of all time. I mean, he just is. What he did with Donovan McNabb and them, I mean, like, you know, Donovan McNabb threw that game. But, yes, they will have to move Kenny out of his
with Kevin Cobb for crying out loud.
Correct. You know, so let's just call it what it is. The Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs by 14 plus. They are going to make a statement in this game is how it's going to go down. They are going to go on to the Super Bowl, and then they are going to make a statement against the 49ers as well. I was just praising the 49ers and their weapons, but if you look at the Baltimore Ravens defensive weapons, you know the offense is going to get you 21, 24 points for the Ravens no matter what. So can you score 21, 24 on the Ravens? You cannot. Patrick Mahomes cannot. Brock Purdy cannot. It's not going to go down that way. Nobody is even close to the Baltimore Ravens at this point. If you watched that game last week and they played a good team, they beat them down. They beat them in submission. They were in their head. They gave up. Like, they gave up.
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, let's be honest. The Texans shouldn't have been there in the first place, and it was CJ Stroud's first year under center. Yeah, but no, I completely agree with what you're saying.
This is the only thing I'm saying about that game. Okay, it should have been only 3 points on that scoreboard. Okay, it was if it wasn't for special teams, it would have been 3 points. So that's
correct. That is a fact.
So I mean, I'm just like again with our matchups, having Kyle Hamilton being 6'4", 230 pounds, he can run like a deer. He's gonna stick with Kelsey like glue. It's gonna be bad.
I mean, you got Roquan Smith as a linebacker who was essentially Khalil Mack 2.0.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to bring in extra linemen to blitz. We're just going to have Roquan and Queen shoot the gaps, and that's honestly what's going to kill Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Because you're going to have to double team Matabike. You're going to have to sit there. You're going to have to double team Jones. You're going to have to double team Williams. You're going to have to double team Pierce. So, and then you got Clowney. You got Van Noy. Again, we have literally two complete defensive fronts that we swap out. So they're not going to get tired. And that's the whole funny thing is it's going to be like at the end of the day, the Chiefs defense is going to get ran all over. They're going to get thrown all over. And it's like that's more so like Patrick Mahomes, like, fuck, our defense, you can give up 20 points because I know the Chiefs defense is going to wind up giving up 30.
I agree.
No, I agree too.
And if Mark Andrews comes back, because Homie been running. I watch the practices every day and the live interviews and little shit. Bro, he out there. I promise you, he plays, he's getting a touchdown. He's getting a touchdown. You can mark that. I said it right here. If he plays, he gets a touchdown.
What up, JQ? Thank you for watching from YouTube. And, of course, TJ. Man, I love TJ. I talk about how great TJ is every show, and I mean it. Like, TJ is just absolutely the best. TJ, you got to come on the show.
Lucy, baby.
That's right.
So, Andrew, let me ask you a question. So, Matt and James, you're signing this check right now and gonna back everything that you just set up next Thursday night when Kansas City wins Sunday.
Oh, just so,
yes or no?
Hold on, James and Matt. Just so y'all know, when Kansas City loses, Kenny will not be on the show next week. He will disappear.
Oh, yes,
to be gone.
I will be here. I will be here. But I want both of them to answer me this question. You're gonna write the check and you're gonna sign it. And when Kansas City wins,
Dominique Wilkins that my wife bought me.
And when Kansas City wins Sunday, you're going to take the wrath next Thursday night and be a man and take the wrath from me. Yes or no?
What wrath am I taking? Like, brother,
just
like
Cowboys.
No.
Fan of the
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not strapping it up.
The fucking Cowboys prediction that you made. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, you just signed the check saying that Kansas City did not have no chance to beat the Ravens. Yes or no?
Hey, hold on. Let Emily talk.
I never said Kansas City didn't have a chance. I'm saying Baltimore is winning.
Right. Go ahead, Emily.
So, Kenny, this is the digital world. They don't use checks anymore. Welcome to the new year.
That's right.
No, that's not an
That's right. We accept PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you want.
That's right. That's how we do it in the new world.
No. You're signing a check saying that Kansas City will not win. Yes or no, James? Right now.
We all said Kansas City's not going to win. You're the only one that said.
I ain't worried about you. You said Kentucky ain't going to beat South Carolina ain't going to beat Kentucky, and I told you they will. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that.
Hey, I have a text saying that Kenny said it would be 50-50 chance of Kentucky winning.
Right.
I did say 50-50. I did say
always a 50-50 chance they either win or lose.
But I picked South
Carolina.
Purdue, Wake Forest, South Carolina on a night game 9 times out of 10, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever you want to, whatever sport you want to put it in, 9 times out of 10, South Carolina, Purdue, Wake Forest, Vanderbilt, whatever, they're winning that game.
Yeah,
not Vanderbilt. Don't say that.
At night and win. It doesn't happen. But with that being said, we are going to wrap up here soon because the production company is going to have a special show tonight. They're going to be live from the Chargers facility, just so y'all know. They are going to be there. They got a bunch of Charger fans coming. It's going to be a big, big show tonight. I will be on there on the 9 o'clock hour. So all my fans that want to see my beautiful face, you will see me at 9 o'clock on this show. My wife just gave me a dirty look, so not my pretty face. I'll take that back. When you want to see my face, that's all I'll say. At the 9 o'clock hour, I will be there. Um,
Ah,
so, so I just want to make that clear real quick because my wife did not appreciate that comment. So I'm gonna retract that statement. That's how it works. So with that being said, we're gonna do our wrap up. Kenny, you got like 1 minute.
all I'm gonna say is I'll see y'all next Thursday night. I don't want no excuses, and we'll be here to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and the Chiefs. Screw the
Oh,
other game.
he's gonna be so hurt. Emily, final statement.
He's already hurt with the Cowboys.
We won't see
losing.
Kenny because he'll disappear. So no worries there.
That's right.
Until next time.
Until next time. Hey Matt, final thoughts, man. What you got?
I look forward to coming on the show next week. I hope you send the link because, yeah, this
You
is
know I
gonna
will. Good night, Jay. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I don't have any idea what he's talking about. But James, final thoughts. What you got?
Oh man, final thoughts. This week is going to be interesting. Man, oh man, I can't wait to send the topics out to Spicy Big Mac and Mr. Anderson. Just tomorrow night is going to be on a level of epic proportions. We got a lot of football topics that we got to talk about, and just it's going to be epic. That's all I got to say.
Yes. So I will be at work tomorrow, but I will take my lunch and I will appear on the show because like a lot of NFL we're in the championship game, so I will not be wearing my Christmas hat this time, unfortunately, but I will be on the show. I cannot wait, man. I enjoy doing No
Oh
Mercy.
man, I was hoping you would dress up like the Grinch, man.
Maybe when it comes back to the holiday season. But just so everybody knows, No Mercy Sports will be on tomorrow night. What time is it going to be Eastern time? Because I think most of our followers are Eastern Standard Time.
So Mountain
7 o'clock.
Time,
7 o'clock Eastern time.
6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Yes.
Perfect. So 6:30, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, No Mercy Sports on YouTube. It will be shared here on Billings, so all you have to do is click the link, and then you can watch James and Mac and myself talk some good old sports. The one thing that I really like about going on the show is we get to talk some hockey, some basketball. I don't do a lot of that here. As the season goes on and we get out of the NFL, I will because I'm a huge baseball fan. My hockey team sucks. My basketball team sucks, but the Braves do not. So I cannot wait for baseball. So final
Go
thoughts.
Cubs, go baby.
That go Blackhawks. I love my Blackhawks. Final thoughts for me, guys. I've had a great week. My wife's Alabama team beat their rival in Auburn, so that made me happy. My Gamecocks took down number 6 Kentucky. Man, rushed the court, got fined $100,000. I guarantee you, they wrote that check happily. Ching ching, here you go. They now have 16
Now they
wins.
got LSU to deal with, the women's.
So that's tonight. And we are going to show the world why we are the best team in the nation. And I want all the smoke. So, with that being said, before I wrap up here, I want to just bring out, in my opinion, here, the Super Bowl is going to be the Ravens, which I have told y'all that. It's going to be the Ravens and the 49ers. Detroit could win this game. I'm not as confident as San Francisco beating Detroit, even though I do think they will, as I am confident the Ravens are going to really push it into the Chiefs. It's going to go down top to bottom. There's just too much talent on the Ravens this year. They just beating people down, like beating them down. And Lamar Jackson is MVP, and it's not even close. Like Lamar Jackson, like if the Falcons will get Lamar Jackson, man, we will send you Michael Vick from the past. We'll take Roddy White and we'll send him to you. Whatever you need to get us Lamar Jackson.
Rookie Dion.
So rookie Dion for Lamar Jackson all day long. And I know
all the guys you listed. It would have to be all the guys you listed.
plus rookie Dion.
Hey, look, Michael Vick ran so Lamar Jackson could sprint.
No doubt, man. I love Dion on the Falcons, one of my favorite players of all time. I love watching him. However, if you take him off those teams, we still don't go to the playoffs. If you add Lamar Jackson to the Falcons now, we do. So I would mortgage our Deion Sanders pass for Lamar Jackson right now in a skinny minute. But with that being said, thank you guys for being on the show. No Mercy Sports tomorrow night, 6:37. Be on the lookout for the link on Villains. This is College Sports Villains only on the Dog Media Network.
College football dogs. By the fans, for the fans. You win,